Hey guys, we're back for another episode of Key Factors Podcast. And today I'm actually joined by my Brownsville office to give you all a perspective of what's going on in the valley, the Rio Grande Valley, that is. So without further ado, I want to introduce a couple of loan officers that work with that are doing some cool things down there. And I want to hear from them. So first off, let me introduce Vanessa Gaitan. How you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm good. Feeling
Awesome.
good.
Awesome. And then Alfredo Martinez is also the sales manager down there.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing?
Doing well.
And then we've got Renee Chacon. ¿Qué pasó?
Hey, ¿qué pasó? Vámonos.
I love it. I love it. So guys, I want to just briefly kind of talk about y'all's market down there. San Antonio is a different market than what you guys are experiencing down there, but I seem to see a trend with delays, if that makes sense. Whatever happens here is eventually going to happen there. It just takes a little bit more time. And the last time I went down there, you guys were multiple offers, kind of like we were. And then the following time I went down there, it kind of subsided and it's now homes kind of sitting on the market a little bit overpriced. Whereas we've already experienced that. I can't say it's a buyer's market or anywhere close to a buyer's market, but people are kind of scared right now. So once we get this stuff out there to your area, I want them to know who the experts are and who to trust. So what's going on down there? Who wants to kick this off?
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a recent article, talking about Brownsville area.
Yeah.
With the increase in value, we're seeing that homes are coming in about $298,000 average, sales price.
Yeah.
Which, now they're on the market for at least a little over 60 days.
Wow.
That we're seeing. So that kind of trend is kind of not multiple offers. There's houses sitting a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
10% of those are kind of being relisted.
Yeah.
And also price per square footage about $157.
Gotcha.
Per square foot. So prices have gone up, just like rates. I'll be honest, rates are up there too.
Right.
Pricing. So it's just a matter of educating the bar. Having an expert tell them, okay, this is what's going on. It's time to make the move.
And that's great advice. The perspective of what's happening down there, as mentioned before, is a trend of what we've already seen here. And I believe that the consumers down there are getting a little bit more educated, but almost missing out on the opportunities that are still available. And you guys tell me if I'm wrong in the sense that, yes, there are homes sitting on the market because the consumers believe that they're too high priced at the moment, or they think that it's going to crash, or they think that rates are going to come down. And I just don't think that is what's in the cards for Texas, period.
It's the payment, to be honest. The people are like, wow, payment is just too much.
Yeah.
And they're thinking it's going to come down, and it's not.
Right. So what are you guys doing in these scenarios?
So just like you said, I have, tons of families pre-approved, and they get scared because of the rate, because of such a high payment. And, like you said, this is where it comes in. I explained, I know the rates, it is what it is. This is what we have. But going maybe 2-3 years down, probably we can get rates not to the twos, but maybe 4 something. That's where we have to refinance, and then your payment can drop $200-$300. So, I explain, and there's some that either they don't believe me or they're just hoping that rates are going to go back to the threes.
You mean you can't just shake the borrower and go, come on, listen to me, please?
I wish, I could, but and they said, well, I think, we might wait. And there's some that they said, you know what, I guess let's go for it.
Right.
Before rates increase.
And those are the ones that I believe are going to look back 3 years, take advantage. 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, whenever that's going to be, but it's cyclical. And they're going to look back and go, man, I'm so glad I did take the risk to adjust my budget monthly to bite off a little bit more now versus 3 years from now, looking at prices that are still going to continue to escalate. There's a term that a lot of folks are using these days, which is marry the home, date the rate. And essentially, it's the concept of buying the home at a right base price to where The rate can always be changed or renegotiated down the road. But you can't go backwards to get that house that used to be at that lower price. Right. So, I mean, it's a tough task to ask anyone to do that. But it's also troubling seeing when you do educate them as much as you possibly think you can. And they're still kind of, I don't know, on the fence, scared. What I think is funny is that you do have interest rates that are rising, which controls the payment for the most part. I mean, that's a big chunk. I mean, when you're dealing with $200,000, $300,000 homes, but for the most part, it's about taxes and insurance and the price range that you're in. But what I find funny is that you will have a customer that complains about a $200, $300 hike in their mortgage payment that you originally quoted and now rates have gone up. But that same customer, more times than not, will go to the car dealership and spend $1,000 on their car per month. Strange, right?
Yeah, and that's so true because, I mean, now when we get the customers in the office, we really got to sit down and start talking about rates and payments and their budget.
Right.
It's important that they learn how to budget to this new payment because they have to adjust to the current times. I mean, they can't go back. Well, the payment when I applied 2 years ago was only $1,200. Now it's $1,500 or $1,600. Yeah. It's called, increase in rates, increase in values and everything.
That's right.
So the market plays up and it plays down, but we got to educate them. You got to go at it now. And like you said, as time goes by, you can, work that rate down to lower those payments. And even that, they can still go fight their taxes every year and get homestead exemptions and bring that payment down. So.
Absolutely.
And even more so for the customers that are renting. We're honest. We tell look, rent's going up as well.
Absolutely, it is.
Why not start building equity now? Get your home. That was a very good point you made. It's marry the home, date the rate. It's
right.
Very, very similar. Where rent's going to go up, so really you're paying somebody else's mortgage.
Right.
Why not buy your own and build that equity now?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's important for us as lenders, as experts, to continue to educate these borrowers based on the budget, like you were talking about. Instead of looking at homes right now, let's sit down and talk about your budget first so that we get a right perspective and you don't go look at a $250,000 house at all because your price range is yielding you $150,000. That way, your expectations aren't ruined from day one. It is the toughest thing to look at a $300,000 house and be told that your payment comfort or your qualification is only at $250,000 or $200,000. It's tough to go backwards. Why? Because the $250,000 home is never going to compare to the $300,000 home. It's just not a thing. I mean, we're human. We can see what the difference is between them. And I think we have to continue to educate that way because any one of you could pick plenty of stories to tell these customers about what took place in the last 2 years about customers previously that contacted you and said, hey, we'd like to do a cash out on our house. And they wanted to take maybe 10, 20, 30,000 out. And after running what we do on our side, go, well, you've got plenty of equity here. You have gained 100,000 in equity. And they go, well, what? If you don't own a home, that's not even a possibility.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, I mean, what are you telling your realtors? What are you doing differently, or what would you like to start doing differently that will keep you top of mind with realtors, keep you as the expert? How about you?
I mean, of course, telling them what the rates are, be honest and tell them this is what we have. And tell them that we do have the down payment assistance, right? We got scared a while ago, but we're back to life. So tell them this is the rates that we offer. I mean, this is what, and most of them or all of them, they know about, the rates. Man, really 6.1? Oh my God. And recently I was talking to about 3 realtors, and I told them, about the pricing, and they're like, no. I mean, these are seasoned realtors, and I was like, well, didn't your lender? They don't tell you about the pricing, and they're like, no. Tell me more.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if it's a good thing to tell them about.
I think it's always a good thing. Absolutely. So that everybody's on the same page.
That extra cost that,
And I also believe that if you're the one leading the way on something like that, on a true factual message, you're even more of the expert. It shows that you have the confidence to be honest about what you're doing and still be able to overcome those objectives, give value to your realtors, show them how to continue to gain business despite what's going on in the market.
Yeah. And these realtors, they just got like, oh my God, I didn't know that. They get super scared. I'm like, I'm not trying to scare you. This is what it is. I mean, I never thought that you wouldn't heard about pricing. You've been doing it for 10 years. Pricing,
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, wow.
Just like that
Thank
overnight.
you for telling me, and that way I guess they can tell their buyers, and this is an extra cost and it's not going to go away.
No, it's very true. It is very true. If you look at what is happening, matter of fact, let's briefly talk about the scare we had this morning to give people an understanding of how quickly bond funds can be given and taken away.
Yep.
That's right.
So volatile right now.
Right. So what took place this morning? What scared the piss out of us today, huh?
Well, I mean, we received a contract.
Yeah.
Vanessa received a contract, which is what we all strive for. And, we're there registering it and going to the eHousing Plus website, and we get a bunch of red letters. There's no funds available or no funds allocated for your reservation.
Right.
So we make a call, and they're like, well, you know what? There's no funds. So they were scrambling, trying to find a different avenue and restructuring. That's what we do, right? We're problem solvers.
That's right.
We want to make sure that if we are bringing bad news, that we're going to bring good news
Absolutely.
as well.
I like to say when the shit hits the fan, you want us on your side.
Yeah. So they were rolling up our sleeves. Okay, so what else we can do? And during that span of time, I left my name and number. They're not going to call me back.
Right.
30 minutes later, I get a call back saying, you know what, the funds are available.
Woo!
Vanessa, go.
Lock
do it now.
in. Yes.
So that's how volatile it is. And I had a quick conversation with one of my realtors as well that, hey, that bar that we have right now, she may want to scale it back down,
right?
To the price where she was originally at, because where she's at right now is not.
It doesn't leave a lot of room,
right? So she's all like, wow, and so now I got to get in the call again and say, you know what, let's go back to that. So
right.
I mean, that's just, and she understands that,
Absolutely.
And that's great that we're educating not only our customers but our realtors.
100%.
They see it, so they're not surprised. They understand the process, and they're advocating for you as well.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think that as we move forward with our market, it is important, and the most important, for us to continue to give value to our referral partners and to our customers and our community. And I think there's plenty of people that are scared to tell the truth because they're afraid of what the reaction's going to be versus being confident in what you know and what you can provide to the customer, to the realtor, and just being honest about that. Hey, rates are going up, but know that if the shit hits the fan, we've got options for you. Why? Because we've got years under our belt, and throughout those years, shit's hit the fan quite a bit, and we've had to figure these things out. So if you had to give a message to realtors out there first, what would that be in this current atmosphere, what we're going through, current environment?
To me, it would be like traffic is not as it was before. Heavy traffic, and a bulk of the people that applied, they did qualify. Well, now with the rates up and the values are higher, now we're dealing with bigger payments, so they got to have bigger income. So that kind of shrinks down how many people can apply.
Yeah, and
so it's slow now everywhere. But as long as we keep working, getting our, rolling up our sleeves and working and touching base with realtors, and then with us, we can communicate with each other and send us business and say, hey, let's work together, and let them know, hey, customer, you're going to have to go and sit down and have a conversation with a mortgage company and see where you stand on your income, your future goals, because they could be buying a small house at the beginning, but let's say in 5 years, one of them becomes a teacher, the other one gets promoted. Hey, now we're ready to move on and, get that $400,000 home that we always wanted.
Absolutely.
But, just establishing those relationships.
No, I think that's important. And you're talking about new relationships. I want to remind folks out there that if you're already pre-qualified with your lender, if you've already gotten your options, if you've already gotten an estimated interest rate and you're out there looking, but it's been longer than a week since you've touched base with your lender, it's time to reach back out because we've got to reassess some things.
Or 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, 30, exactly. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
What about the buyers? What would you tell buyers right now? Anybody?
I mean, we're seeing a lot of buyers. They're really seeing a lot what's going on online.
Yeah.
You know, the first question we ask, or I asked, and I told my LOs too, tell me what you know about interest rates.
Yeah.
You know, where are you getting the information? Is it a reliable source? Is it not a reliable source? So, and if it's not, well, these are the facts.
Yeah, and I think that's incredible.
It's just taking a little bit more time with them.
And impactful that you're able to lead with that. That shows that you're not afraid to have the tough questions.
Right.
There's so many loan officers in our industry that are scared to have the tough conversations. And my message to them is that's why you get paid so much for what you do. You've got to have tough questions. I mean, you've got to have the tough conversations. We may not always have the answers to the questions. Sometimes if we did, we probably shouldn't be doing what we're doing. We should probably be gambling the market, which is why when people ask, what are rates going to do? You know what? They're either going to go up or they're going to go down.
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
That's what we know.
We're hoping they're going to go back down, but we don't know when. And they ask me, I get this question all the time, are rates going to go down? And I'm like,
yeah, magic ball time, right?
And I was like, I wish, I knew. But, I mean, we're hoping that they're going to go back, little by little,
right.
2 years, 3 years. We don't know, but.
Oh, I mean, I think it's important real quick before we wrap this up to have a conversation about why interest rates are going up, because we're going to air this in the Brownsville area to let your consumers know a little bit more about what we know. We're going to pull back the curtain a little bit. Some may know, some may not know why interest rates are going up. Can any of you answer that question as far as why interest rates are going up? To control inflation. Hands down, that is the number one answer because you've got a lot of folks that think that the Fed increasing their rate is what's increasing mortgage rates. No, it's technically inflation that's triggering this, and Fed is doing what they can to control inflation or combat inflation, but the Fed rate is not directly correlated with mortgage rates. If anything, it's a part of it. That's a great way to put that. It's a part of it. And in order for us to control inflation, we've got to slow things down. Why? Because we were spending our money like crazy. Is it a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. But I think that when we get a ton of money pumped into our system and it goes nowhere, that's what happens. So I think we didn't create the mess, but we're having to deal with the mess. And it's unfortunate. But I think a level of understanding of that from a consumer's perspective is important because they don't know why rates are going up. They think it's us that are raising them sometimes. We're on your side. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, rates are going up for us too. We got to eat. We've got to accomplish our goals. We've got to do the things that we need to do in order to continue, Anybody have anything else to add? This is your time. You say whatever you want.
No, I mean, I'm glad that we're still getting referrals, right, from our referral partners. We get 2-3, pre-quals a day. And, I mean, at least we're getting some traffic coming in slowly but surely instead of getting nothing. That, will be pretty bad. So I'm glad that I'm still closing, 3 deals a month, but I'm getting something, versus, of course, 7, 8 loans a month. But hey, I know things are going to get better. We hope, we have faith, and, let's keep swimming.
Amen. Just keep swimming. How about from a technology perspective? What can you give to a realtor that can help increase their business? Because a lot of agents that we speak to, they want value, and it's up to us to show them some value because some of us do depend on their business to continue. What would you say is something that you can provide as far as value that a realtor can utilize to capture more business, to increase their business?
Like the sign writers.
Oh yeah, tell me about that. What's that?
That's a sign that you put on their listing sign, and sometimes customers are or potential leads are shy, very shy. They're driving through their future neighborhood, and they're like, oh, I don't want to call. Let me just they're scared. They're like, I don't think I'm gonna get pre-qualified, or I may not ask the right question. So they just text. Everybody use text messages, right? So they text this code, and it'll take them through the property, to the listing information. This is the price. This is how many bedroom, square footage. They tell them a little bit about the neighborhood going on. So it's pretty cool. And then we're gonna, of course, we get the potential lead. Hey, Mr. So and so is trying to get information on it. The realtor will get that information, and the lender will get it. So
you're telling me that there is something that you guys offer that can be leveraged with a realtor's listing to capture leads without them doing anything?
Right.
Wow.
Even without doing any open houses.
Nada.
This is like an electronic open house.
I love it. I love it.
Exactly.
And I think more realtors need to know about that in your market, because last time I was down there, I took a little drive and you see their signs.
Yeah.
But don't have sign writers on them. They're not leveraging their listings to build their business. And even some of them, you type in the address and you're like, wait a minute, did you take this picture with your cell phone?
Yeah.
But I guess they didn't need to for a little while.
Right.
Right. So I think that's a great value add, and there's plenty more. I know where that came from. Anybody else want to add anything else?
Just our app. I mean, itself. If we can share it with a realtor, and then, because a lot of customers, when they go see a home, one of the questions they're going to ask is, what's the payment like on something like this? And I know that the app has a calculator in there where you can plug in your price and your taxes and your estimated rate. And as a realtor, you kind of keep up with that interest rate.
Absolutely.
And at least they get a picture of it. But from there, of course, talk to the mortgage company so you can get a real picture what it looks like owning this type of home.
Absolutely.
And if you qualify, of course, that's going to be the real key right there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a good thing we're on Key Factors.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, a couple of things that we took out of this this discussion is this is a time to focus on building your value to your community. It's a time to showcase your expertise by giving out the most accurate information as possible, even if it is a tough task to do, and even if on the other end, you're not sure what this response is going to be. I think we have to continue to show that value, and we have to preach the good word, because consumers are only going to do what consumers do. And if they've got more information, they're better equipped to make better decisions. If they view you as the expert, well, you don't go to the doctor and tell him that he's wrong, or she. You don't go to the dentist and tell them that they're full of it because there's a cavity back there. I mean, you don't question the expert, correct? And I think there's got to be a sense of ownership in our ability to be the expert in our industry. You guys' market is still an untapped market, in my opinion. I think that there's plenty of opportunity that is going to continue to pour into there, especially you guys revamping the boardwalk and everything down there for South Padre. You've got Uber celebrities coming down there and buying up stuff, donating, eating, what do they call them? Speedo papas and all of these things. But I'm looking forward to continuing to help lead you guys into the future as we move forward, because the future's bright. So I hope you have your shades. Amen to that. Well, guys, I hope you got something out of this episode. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with a friend, because you never know who needs to hear this at the time. Thank you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Boom.